Good morning and welcome. This is Pastor Lucy Painter with your daily insight, and this month of March is dedicated to faith. And this week we have a guest, Minister Joseph Boro. He will be taking us through a journey of faith that works. Sit back, relax, listen, and learn as he shares about faith that works. Welcome.
Welcome to the first episode of Faith That Works. We'll be talking about that faith that works. And I will start by reading scriptures explaining what faith is. And I'm reading from Hebrews 11, from verse 1, and I'm reading from Amplified Version. Now faith is the assurance, title deed, confirmation of things hoped for, divinely guaranteed, and the evidence of things not seen, the conviction of their reality. Faith comprehends as fact what cannot be experienced by physical senses. It is good to understand what faith is, and faith is the assurance that we have in God. It is that confirmation that we have in our hearts that what we have committed to God, He is going to do it for us. It is that conviction that we have that we will never be disappointed if we believe in God. And faith that works. I was getting an illustration. Somebody gave a story illustrating faith that works. And he talked of somebody who used to entertain people by tying a rope across Niagara Falls, and he would walk across. And one day when people were gathered and he was entertaining them, he asked the people, do you think I can take a wheelbarrow across with me? And everybody was shouting and saying, yes, you can do it. And he took a wheelbarrow and pushed it across Niagara Falls. And then he looked at the crowd and said, anybody who is willing to jump in the wheelbarrow so that I can push him across Niagara Falls? And everybody started receding and running away. They said no. Nobody was willing to take the risk. And this brings me to the very first point, that the faith that works is always willing to take action. And if we read from the book of James, chapter number 2 and verses 14, James poses a question: what good is it, my brother, if a man claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. So it is good to understand, my brother and my sister, as we continue to talk about faith that works, you have to know that faith, if it is not accompanied by an action, it is not going to give you anything. You have to be willing to take action. In the same way, just as we have given you the story of that man who used to move from one side of Niagara Falls to the other, and then he pushed a wheelbarrow, and nobody was willing to take action and be ferried from one side to the other. In the same way, if we want to move from one side of life to the other side where we want to be, we have to be willing to jump in faith and trust God trust Him that He's going to move us from one side to the other. If you are sick, you have to be willing to jump in faith and trust God that He's going to move you from the side of sickness to the side of healing. If you're lacking this morning, you can jump in faith, and God, in His faithfulness, He's going to move you from the side of lack to the side of abundance, because He's a God who fulfills all His promises. My brother, my sister, I don't know what you're trusting God for today, but I want to tell you, faith is the only way out. Do you have the assurance this morning? In the same verse that we just read, the Bible says that faith is the title deed. For example, if I buy a piece of land somewhere, they will issue me with a title deed. And if somebody is trying to refute or somebody is trying to claim ownership, the only way that can settle the dispute is by providing the title deed. It proves that you are the rightful owner of whatever you are claiming to have. The title deed. Faith is the title deed. If you have the title deed, you have the ownership. So I know today God has promised so many things in my life, and the only proof that I have, if I have not attained them yet, I have the title deed for them, and this is faith in God. So do you have faith in God? If you have faith in God, it is like having the title deed of what you are claiming to possess. May God bless you, and be willing to take action by faith. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'm doing this on behalf of Pastor Lucy Painter. God bless you. See you tomorrow with another episode of Faith That Works.